Hello, Assalamu Alaikum, dear students. Here is Professor Ilyas with the new lecture of your solution to English paper 2022. Let's start the solution without any delay. First, come to your section A, which is of the 20 marks, and you have 25 minutes to solve this question. Coming to the question number 1, fill the relevant bubble for each part carries 1 marks. First MCQ is, if a text contains the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose or criticize people's stupidity or the vices, it can be referred to the satire. Satire is such a quality that or a characteristic of a literature in which a novelist or the dramatist use some mimicries or some actions to criticize on the reality of the nature or reality of the people or the reality of the society. Number 2, Gulrukh always does her job in time. The underlined word is an example of dash. Gulrukh. Gulrukh is again a cataphoric reference as it is used in the previous paper of the 2022. Number 3, which of one of the following sentence contain the transitional device of the consequences? So first we have to consider all of the 4 sentences here that are given. Number 1, Saad burnt midnight oil but could not get as many marks as he desired. There is no reasoning in this sentence. Hasnan would have attended the party had he been invited. Resultantly, he won the hearts of his subordinates. In comparison to India, Pakistan is much more responsible nuclear state. So number C is the correct option that shows the consequences of something happening. Number 4, if a wolf refuses to help its pack hunt, it becomes an outcast and must go on alone. Which of the following is the meaning of the underlined word outcast? Outcast, Pariah, means to leave its flock. He has to leave its flock. Number A is the correct option. Number 5, the third person omniscient point of view is the most objective and trustworthy because an all-knowing narrator is telling the story. Means a third person that has seen the incident directly happening around him, so he can narrate the objectivity and he can narrate the story in a trustworthy manner. So the option number A is the correct option. Number 6, as the doctor examined the patient and his reports, a sign of worry appeared on his face. From this we can infer that the patient most probably has some serious problem. I'll again read the statement so that you can understand it. As the doctor examined the patient and his reports, signs of worry appeared on his face. Signs of worry appear on his face means that there is something serious in his reports. So option number B is the correct option, that has some serious problem. Next MCQ 7. The bridal carriage was decorated from stem to stern, all over, all the way. The underlying idiomatic expression means all the way from front to back. Number 8. Which one of the following sentence exemplify the oxymorons? What are the oxymorons? First, we have to read the sentence so that you can identify. I have told you a million times not to touch my stuff. Zan's faith is as strong as a rock. The mountain sinks together. Good night, parting is such a sweet sorrow. This is basically an oxymoron keeping view in the sentence. Good night is an ending note and the parting is such a sweet sorrow. Number 9, if I were you, I would not disrespect my teacher just for asking me to rewrite the assignment. The implied meaning of the sentence is, I am extraordinarily respectful to my teacher. Number 2, my teacher are more respectable than yours. Number 3, teacher should demand respect. Number 3, I advise you not to be respectful to your teacher. So the clear meaning in this sentence, if I were you, it's basically an exemplary phenomena that somehow we want to advise others through our manner. So the correct option is, I advise you not to be disrespectful to your teacher. Number 10, which one of the following sentence contains both a fact and an opinion? Number 1, Pakistan came into being 1947 and the Quaid-e-Azam became the first Governor General. No, both are the facts. Number 2, mangoes are delicious but apples are not. This is not the reality. Number 3, the horse is an animal riding, which is an exciting experience. So here you find the horse is an animal riding. This is the reality, a fact which is an exciting experience, and the second part of the sentence shows your own opinion. So this is the correct option. Next is the MCQ number 11. Laws are quickly passed so that the child abuse could be checked. Checked means reduced. Child abuse, basically an adverb used as an adverbial phrase here. So option number C is the correct option. Number 12, Jupiter is dash the solar system. Jupiter is in the solar system. It is basically the part of the solar system. That's why in is the correct option. Option number A. Number 13, I have given up the habit of reading aloud. The underlying part of the sentence, reading aloud, is a gerund. Reading is basically a gerund, because the reading here presenting a noun, verbal form of the noun. Number 14, Kiran's belief that she would succeed one day cheer her up. The underlying part of the sentence, that she would succeed one day, is a noun phrase basically. Next is the MCQ number 15. One often asks, what will come next? Which one of the following pronoun will best fill in the blanks? Number 1, oneself. Number 2, himself. Number 3, herself. Number 4, themselves. Remember, students, you have to focus on the subject use in the sentence, and you also have to use the pronoun accordingly. The action done, the person who is doing the action, or the subject of the sentence. So here the subject of the sentence is one. So oneself is the correct option here to put as pronoun. Number 16, they asked him how he got injured, but he refused to answer. This is a dash sentence. This is a compound complex sentence. How they asked him, number 1. How he got injured, number 2. But he refused to answer. As this sentence carries 3 sentences in it and 2 subordinate clauses, so this is a compound complex sentence. Number 17, Fatima wanted to overcome her fear. The underlying part of the sentence, to overcome, is dash infinitive. To with verb is a simple infinitive, right? When a verb is used with to at its start, it is a simple infinitive. Number 18, dash money I have will suffice for my present needs. Which one of the following will correctly fill in the blank? A little money, and little money, the little money, and little money. So the correct option here is the little money. And little money is a wrong option, quite wrong option than this. MCQ number 19 here. Which one of the following condition sentences is correctly structured? Number 1, had he been wise, he would not have done such foolish things. Number 2, had he been wise, he would not do such foolish things. Number C and D, as these are started with the war and the war, so they do not meet the condition of the sentence, so these options are not right to choose with. So we have to go with the A or B. But one difference that you have to see here is that the second sentence, B option, he would not do such foolish thing, is not an option. He would not have done is the correct word to put here in the condition with had been, right? If a sentence is started with had been wise, he would not have done such foolish things. Means you have to put the third form being in the both of the sentences. Option, MCQ number 20 is I consider Munib my best friend. The verb used in the sentence is transitive verb. I consider Munib my best friend is a transitive verb here. Now come to the subjective part of the paper. And subjective part start with section B. Section B is from your textbook that consists of paper A, and it carries 40 marks. Your question number 2, first question of your subjective paper carries the maximum marks in your paper, that is 28. So the division of this 28 marks is so that 8 marks is of the summary writing, including the title of the passage, and the remaining 20 marks you have to get from the questions that are given below. You have to attempt 5 questions. Each question carry 4 marks. So what you have to do is to read the passage carefully and try to gather the main points from the para that you have to translate it, or you have to convert it into the simple English. So the first question is write down the summary of the passage and suggest the suitable title. So you see this para is about Khalid bin Walid Razillah Ta'ala anhu, who had not yet converted to Islam. Notice that the strategic pass to the left of the army of the Muslim was unguarded. So your title should be the drop scene of the Battle of Ohud, and you have to summarize the above passage into 1/3 of the original length of the passage. Number 2, what was the manner of the Khalid bin Walid which startled the Muslim? Khalid bin Walid, being a seasoned warrior, spotted the deadly error of the archers to leave the post and render it exposed to enemy. He did not waste a moment and launched a cautious attack upon the Muslim army from its rear, which created panic and disarray among the ranks and inflicted massive damage upon them in the form of heavy loss of life. After that, Khalid ibn al-Walid has joined the Muslim army and by becoming a Muslim. Next question is how did Abu Sufyan exploit the situation? Abu Sufyan, that was the uncle of the Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while the Muslim army was startled by sudden attack, Khalid ibn al-Walid, and it showed a visible state of panic and disarray. It was spotted at once by Abu Sufyan, who launched a might attack from the front, which weakened the havoc upon them. They had to pay a heavy price for the blunder of the archers to leave the post and disregarded command of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Next question is what was the incident which prompted the spread of the rumor of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam being martyred? When the Muslim had to bear the brunt of a sudden assault from both the rear and the front, they had to bear heavy losses of the valuable lives. Among those who laid down their sacred lives for the Holy Prophet or for the holy cause was found lying down the sacred body of Musab bin Umar Radhiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, who resembled the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam very close. This gave the expression that everybody thought that Nauzubillah, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been martyred during the war. Next question is he tore his way through the enemy lines. What does it tell us about the bravery and the battle skill of Hazrat Ali Razallahu Ta'ala anha? While the Muslim army was in the state of panic and disarray owing to that sudden assault by Khalid bin Ibn al-Walid, there spread a rumor that God forbid the Holy Prophet ﷺ has been martyred. In the meanwhile, Hazrat Ali ﷺ heard a roar and spotted a place where he could see the Holy Prophet ﷺ being surrounded by the bands of the devotees that had turned the table. He rushed to the place, piercing the column of the enemy soldier, of which this expression has been used by the author. Next question is, the Ansar Raziallahu Ta'ala Anha, companion of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, protected the Holy Prophet Sallallahu from the enemy at the risk of their own life. How is it a great lesson for us? The Battle of Uhud is a tale of trial and tribulation. No doubt this is really a story of the trial and tribulation of the Muslim Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but not without certain instances of the bravery, devotion, and heroics. One such a remarkable deed was the act of a group of die-hard Ansar led by Abu Dujana Raziallahu ta'ala anha, which stood like a shield, taking every arrow and armor upon them to safeguard Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the love, that passion that they showered on the Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That has no comparison in the history. It was later bolstered by the bravest of all, Hazrat Ali Razallahu Ta'ala anhu, who was given a special command to launch the renewed attack upon the army, which in fact forced them to retreat and enable the Muslim to avoid the total disaster. So next question is, why were the Muslims demoralized at the rumor of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam being martyred? What was the effect of this rumor on fighting the polytheists? As you know, the leader of the army kept a special place for the companions and for the soldiers. So as the leader, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he got much importance. So the rumor that spread about him sallallahu alaihi wasallam has disheartened the remaining army of the Muslims. So the answer is that this happened because someone spotted the body of Musab bin Umair, who resembles Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why they thought, they gathered the rumor that Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Nauzubillah, martyred. It was telling blow for the Muslim, but at the same time, nothing could be more rejuvenating for the enemy to inflict heavy losses upon the Muslims. Next question is, Khalid ibn al-Walid was a smart, skillful warrior even before embracing Islam. What might does above cited incident throw on him as a military commander? Hazrat Khalid ibn al-Walid came of a tribe of warrior. He belonged to a tribe of warrior. He was master of the art of fighting in the battle from the boyhood. He had an eye of eagle to spot the error of the archers, to leave the pass exposed and launch a furious attack from the rear. This incident shows him a capable soldier and commander in battlefield even before embracing Islam. So this is the pattern that you have to attempt your question from the passage. Next is the question number 3. Read the following poetic expression carefully and answer the question appended to. You are provided with the 2 stanzas here. You have to choose which one you have to answer in the paper. So first you have to read the stanza clearly, understand the meaning, and read the question asked below. Then you have to decide whether you have to attempt the first one or you have to go with the option. Number 1, I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hand with my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. So here the question are. Number 1, what's the message conveyed through these lines? In this line, the poet emphasizes upon the idea in an ironic manner that we have discussed in the start of the paper, that irony and the style. What does it mean? It means that writer want to show the hypocritical behavior of the people or the society, to show the reality of the society. So this stanza shows the ironic manner that we should have seen from the stand of the modern age to display a dual nature by greeting fellow without any feeling or the sincere affection. So this could be the answer, best answer. Number 2 is distinguish between what is clearly stated and what is implied in this extract. The poet has illustrated some ideas quite clearly, like glad to see you and nice to talk you. Whereas he had made use of implicit expression also to convey the feeling, like to laugh with teeth means to not laugh really, to not to smile from the heart, shake hands without heart. This also shows the hidden meaning in it. Hypocritic behavior, dual meaning. Next question is write down the words rhyming with the word shake. Shake, make, take, gate, these are the rhyming words. So you have an option to this question, and here is another stanza. You have to pick which one you can do it better in your exam. Awake for morning in a bowl of night has flung the stone that puts the star to flight, and lo, the hunter of the east has caught the sultan's turret in a news of flight. Let's read the question below and then decide which stanza you have to attempt there. Explain what important phenomena of nature has been mentioned in the by the poet in the given lines. The poet had depicted the natural phenomena of very smooth and serene transformation. Smooth and serene transformation when the first ray of morning put the stars and the darkness of flight and announce the arrival of the day. This is a swift change of the night to the day and day to the night. Next question is what is the poet's purpose of using the term hunter of the east? Hunter of the east, he used this word for the sun, which is the most powerful phenomena of the nature. Next is which poetic device has the poet used in the given stanza? The poet has made use of different poetic devices in the stanza, like use metaphor, personification, symbolism, and this make the poetic discourse more interesting and appealing for the reader. Next is the B part of this question, and this question also carries 6 marks. Answer any one of the following part. Number 1, how is conflict the most important element to make a work of fiction interesting for the reader? In a novel or any other fiction or drama or one-act play, the sequence of a story or a plot is the most important part that make it truly absorbing for the reader. The presence of a conflict is the soul of the plot construction. The story which do not have any conflict of the personalities is basically the flop story, and it does not even contain the climax and the anticlimax. So a story that do not have a climax is nothing to do with the literature. This conflict about the most dominant theme of the sequence generates the most captivating trait of the story, line from the suspense, irony, curiosity to keep the reader or the audience spellbound to the end, till the end. So here the climax and anticlimax are the necessary things with the plot of the story that come with the contradictions or the conflicts of the characters. Next question is how does the setting of a work of fiction provide the necessary background for the main action illustrate with the work of fiction you have read? It is better to give an example of the fiction or the literature that you have studied in your textbook. So the best option here is the Damon and the Pythias. The setting of the play or any work of fiction plays a very important role in the setting of the tone of the storyline and arousing the interest and the elements of the suspense in the mind of the reader right from the outset. I would cite the example of the Demon Pythias in which the writer had done artistically well to create an atmosphere of and portraying that the state of being related a king with the utmost cruelty or the suppression. In these circumstances, no one dares to raise a voice, and when Pythias did it, he had to pay a very heavy price of to raise a voice against his cruelty. This is how the setting of the play is so valuable to create an environment from the beginning which initiates the sequence of the plot and the storyline. That the reader is conscious through the outsetting of the play what would happen next. Next is the section C. Section C is from your paper B. It also carry 40 marks. You have to attempt all questions of this section, and number one, or means question number 4 here is the essay writing. You have to write an essay of one of the given topics. Number 1 topic is the unemployment with the given outlines, introduction, meaning, consequences, social, political, and the national causes, wrong system of education, lack of industry, high birth rate, unequal distribution of wealth, remedies, and the farming technical education and the better planning. So although here the conclusion is not mentioned in the outline, but you guys have to put the conclusion or the conclusive note to this essay. And remember one thing, your essay should consist of the 250 to 300 words at least. So how do you start the essay? Let's read the plan. Unemployment is an economic term. Employment means occupation. When the people are out of work and they are said to be unemployed, means you have to define the term that you are writing about. Means you are, if you're writing about the unemployment, first you have to define the term, what is meant by unemployment. Then you will go further with the reasoning and with the causes and with the remedies. So next topic of the essay is the role of education in the national progress. Role of education in the national progress is also given with the outlines, introduction, importance of education, teacher, civilization, need of nation, moral, social, and technical important activity, impact of education on the fortune nation, and then conclusion. Same like way as we have done in the first essay, that we have to introduce our concept that what we are writing about in the first para. Education is a process which develops the potentialities of a man and help him to concentrate his energies to what our aims he like. Nation are made not by the wealth but by the men, and men are made by the education. Modern civilization with its invention and advancement is the product of education. So this is how you have to take the point and to proceed with the concept and according to the given outlines, right? Next question is question number 5. There are 5 errors of the article, subject, verb, agreement, preposition, pronoun, and adjective in the given para. Rewrite the paragraph after correcting the error, underlined the correct words and parts. So in this para, you have some underlined words that you have to rectify and rewrite this para. Not this is that you have to underline and correct it over it. Rewriting is not acceptable because you do not have to attach this question paper to your answer sheet. So you have to rewrite this specific part of the question number 5 to your answer sheet. So let's start here. Pakistan is the great country. No, use of article is wrong here. Pakistan is a great country. Correct? It is located in a strategically important region. It is located in a strategically important region. The neighboring country of Pakistan includes 2 veto powers. Include Pakistan include because there are 2 veto powers. There are 2 countries named here, so it does not contain the includes. It is a singular verb here. So Pakistan is rich from the natural resources, not from. Wrong use of preposition here. Pakistan is rich in natural resources. Pakistan is rich in, for example, gemstones. We have great mountain ranges, rivers, and the plains. We have the great mountain ranges, rivers, and plains. Then we have nuclear capability, who has served as great deterrence for us. Who is basically most of the time is used for the personal identifications and for the persons. So here we do not have to use who, but we replace it with which. Clear? Here I am highlighting the area of the corrections. Next is for us, if any of our coward enemies think of attacking us. Cowardly. This the word coward enemies is not cowardly enemies. This is an adverb here. Cowardly enemies think of attacking us. Our atom bomb will make her think again. So question number 5, part B. Use any 5 of the following idioms in sentences. Bad blood. Dispute on property caused bad blood between the two brothers. Number 2 is by fits and starts. You will not succeed if you work by fits and starts. Number 3, a house of cards. All claim of economic revival proved a house of cards and the country could not be saved from the bankruptcy. Correct the spelling here. There is a spell mistake. House of card is just an imagination, that could not exist in reality. So next is kith and kin. Sorry, a hard pill to swallow. Defeat in election was a hard pill to swallow for him. Hard pill to swallow is difficult thing to absorb or adjust and to digest. Number 5, kith and kin. They invited all their kith and kin, all the family members and their relatives and near and dears to their new home. Number 6 is bring to light. To bring into light means to appear or to show something clearly. The investigation brought some unbelievable facts to light. To show the white feather. Brave soldiers never show the white feather in the battlefield. White feather means they do not show their back to the battlefield. Next is the C part of the question. Change the following conversation into the indirect form of narration. Narration, you see, is given in the direct form. How do you identify this passage or paragraph or your conversation is given in direct or indirect? If the inverted commas are put in every statement, every later statement of the sentence, so it means that it is an indirect, it's a direct narration. So you have to convert it into direct narration. I said to my friend, first of all, underline the things that you have to change here. Number 1, said is to be changed. My friend, keep it as it is. Inverted commas should have to be removed here. Then you have to ponder upon the pronoun you used here. So let's get started. I asked my friend Hamda what she was doing after the examination. So here one thing to notice here, he asked my friend. In indirect narration, you replace said with asked, right? My friend as it is, and you have to remove the inverted commas and do not put that. Why? Because it is a question mark or is an interrogative sentence. So Hamda, that she was, as it is the second person is to be changed into the object. So when it is changed into the object, you put here she was, because the friend is her female variant, so she was doing after the examination. Next is I have not decided anything yet. She replied, as it is said she. You have to change it into she replied, right? I have not decided anything yet. And to convert these inverted commas into that, then is the point to change the subject. Subject is I, and I should be changed again into the object of this sentence, so it is changed into she, and she had not yet decided anything. Next is, why do not you come with me to my village? I am sure you will love it. I proposed, right? I propose that here you should have to use the second form of the sentence. I propose that she might come, as it is used that you may come, so we have to change it to you might come. She might come with me to my village, assuring that I am sure you will love it. So change into the indirect speech, assuring that she would love it. Okay? Oh really? She expressed her pleasure smilingly. Oh really? She smiled. This is the direct statement that she has put here, or you have to change it to indirect narration, so you can exclaim it as she expressed her pleasure smilingly, means with smile. But Maham, you know, I have to discuss with my parents. But Maham, you know, I have to discuss with my parents. So you also have to change I and my parents, as it referred to her friend. So we put her she and her. But he reminded me that she had discussed with her parents, right? I and my should be changed into she and her. Again, of course, their consent is necessary. Of course shows the agreement to the statement, so we can convert it into I agreed with her. Their consent is necessary, that their consent was necessary. Is should be changed into the was. I will also talk to them for you. I agreed with her. I promised that I would also talk to them for her. For her, right? So this is the conversion of your direct narration into the direct narration. You see in the para that direct narration is are the exact words that someone has talked about or has expressed his feeling, but in indirect narration you express the same words in your own expressions. Number 6, suppose you are an area reporter of a national daily. Write a report to the editor on the paper drainage or the poor drainage system in your area and the resulting problem as faced by the people of the area. Your report should cover the following points. So, dear students, this section of the report writing carry the 8 marks. In this question, you are provided with the 4 points, basic points that you have to write in the report or discuss in your report. Okay, from the start of the report, first you have to know that you have to write down the date of of the report at which you are writing, and then on the left upper corner you have to mention to whom you are writing. Number 2, from whom is this report being written, right? Next is the subject. Subject is the poor drainage system in area, right? After that, you have to introduce the topic. What does this introduction mean? This introduction para shows the significance of the topic that you are writing about in your report. For example, a proper drainage system is an integral part of any urban infrastructure in today's world. As population is congested in cities, effective sanitary system, including a smoothly functioning drainage system, is a key to healthy community life. However, the drainage system in the most thick populated part of the city, ABC, is in a poor state. So this kind of the introduction you need to write in this report, and further you will move to the report, and keep in mind that you have to discuss these points given below in your report. Number 1, state of the poor drainage system. Number 2, problem resulting from the flaw. Number 3, response of the concerned officials. And lastly, you have to put some suggestions here. Okay? This section carries the suggestions. Number 1, the concerned official should be approved and sensitized by the civil society, and they should be convinced to make the necessary arrangement of the required repair of street. Number 2, a coordination among the different government departments and must be ensured so that the damage could be reduced to the minimum. Next is the people must be aware of their rights and duties that may form the communities committees to solve such problems with the help of the government. Number 4 is the media houses should also play their role in declining the situation. So in the end, you have to put the regards. It may be on the right side of the report or maybe on the left side of the report. Both could be correct. But do not write your name, your roll number, or the name of your institution in your paper. Last question from your subjective part is the question number 7. Use appropriate transitional devices from the given list in any 5. You're given with the words, and here in this para given below, so there are some blanks, and you have to choose the word from this and put into that para. Aisha and Amara are twins who almost unidentifiably resemble each other. Dash they dress very much alike. So you have to decide which is the best word to put here. Moreover, so we use here moreover. They dress very much alike, and even their talking and walking style is strikingly similar. You have to put here even, right? And the next is, although their close friends can easily tell one from each other, the less intimate cannot easily pass the test. Next is dash very amusing situation come up off and on as a result. Dash even their teacher is deceived. Sometimes even their teacher is deceived. Dash it were not enough fun, as if it were not enough fun. Another pair of the twins made entry into the same class to affect the similar scenes. So this is all about your paper of English. Hope this solution will lead you to pass your examination while giving appearance in your final exam. Jazakallah khair. Thank you.